Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Somebody messaged and said Raina clearly farted during one of the episodes, and I heard it. And I was like, I didn't. No. I can get through a 45-minute recording without farting loudly in the middle of our episode.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the chair. Okay. It's the Olympics week.
Dun, 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 dun. Is this right? Is that song right?
I don't know what you're doing.
The Olympics song.
Can I tell you a secret? Sometimes,
am I right?
I think you hear humming different than I do. So I've been to tell you this for years. Sometimes you sing a song and I never know what it is. And you have to get a few bars into it before I know what you're talking about.
No, but that's on me.
Are you tone deaf?
No, are you tone deaf?
For 7 years, I've been meaning to ask
right,
you.
if you guys ride in the car with Raina, there are 7 songs you'll hear on repeat for years. Literally, she's not a music aficionado. No, I'm not tone deaf. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, are you ever trying to
But
think?
it always sounds like the same song. And I'm like, until you get kind of few bars in, I don't know what you're doing.
Get in the YouTube comments immediately and tell me if you knew that I was not humming, whatever the fuck I was doing, the Olympic theme.
Do it again.
You don't sound any.
That's what you sounded like. Do it again.
First of all, it's not humming. Dun, 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 dun. Is this the Olympic song? Tessa? Or am I doing some like...
It just won't sound anything like what you're doing. But like when I hear it, I'm like, I see what she's doing there.
Exactly.
Oh, it's trumpets, not... Okay. Well, if you had made trumpet sounds before...
They need that ham horn in there.
If you had made trumpet sounds before, I would have known what you were talking about.
This is a serious question. Are you tone deaf? Well, you're colorblind.
I don't think I am.
No,
we see
colors differently.
We see people's faces differently. Like you think people are pretty that are not, and vice versa.
Okay, I was thinking we have different tastes. That's why we're best friends.
That's true.
You are Rebecca Andrade. Guys, we're going to botch some names and we're really sorry. We tried our best, but sometimes they just aren't going to flow off the tongue. Rebecca Andrade, who won the women's...
Oh, there's 2 flies now. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Tessa, can you just like try to kill them? I'm so sorry.
Okay, we're back from our Olympic sport, which is killing flies. This is
I
crazy.
wanted to feel like I was a part of it. I wore my little tennis dress. It's the first time I've ever held a racket.
Yeah. You are in your killing fly era.
Yeah. I'll do it with my hands. I'll kill a spider with my hands.
Yeah. Oh, all day.
We have spiders like you live here. Spiders in my house all the time.
You have to just like, I don't know what it is. California. I mean, there's other places too. Australia. You can't just like live there and be scared of bugs. You have to just like, take it into your own hands, literally. Okay. Rebecca Andrade, who won the gold, and Simone Biles and Jordan Childs like bowed down to her. This picture went viral. It was a really special moment. It was all black podium. You saw this, right? I watched her floor routine and her beam routine, and she like has bad eyesight, and she doesn't like contacts because she doesn't really want to see that well. What? She wants to just go into it blind. When they put the scores up for her, she has to put her glasses on to see them.
This is so funny.
And she chooses not. She's just, this contacts are not for her. She just likes it better that way, which is kind of funny. Like, I guess I can see that where you're like on this balance beam. I can't imagine anything harder. And you're like, I just got to feel the vibes. I don't want to see that thing. Like you're like, I just got to feel it.
No, but like, listen, you know how you perform best. So it's like Yusuf Dikik, the silver medalist from Turkey in shooting, and he just shows up, no protective eyewear, one earplug,
raw dog,
just dressed like a dad ready to go to the park with his kids, and just like kill shot. I mean, it's just, he's like, that's how I perform better.
Yeah.
I don't need all the gear.
Right. No, it is. Yeah, it's really raw dog in the Olympics. But it's funny because when they put her scores up, she's got to whip these glasses out and put them on. It just reminded me of you.
Because I won't.
Because she's like,
glasses.
I could wear contacts, but I'm trying to see what I'm doing out
I
here.
could see the television clearly and
She's
driving clearly.
on vibes only.
No, that's so funny.
Okay, let's just thank our partners really quick, and then we will continue the Olympic discussion.
Yes, thanks to Seed. Get 25% off at seed.com/GGE with code 25GGE.
Yes, and thanks to Fume, get a free gift with your order at tryfume.com with code GGE.
So I hid something from you for a long time. I came out with it. So
Okay.
I was like, I'll tell you a secret. And I was like, I haven't watched 1 minute of the Olympics because I've been traveling. You and I have had you were on a trip with your boyfriend. I was in New York and Pittsburgh. I hadn't watched, I was really drunk. I watched the opening ceremonies, kind of. I don't remember that sound.
I don't remember that. I don't know her.
I was so drunk.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. But I haven't watched 1 minute of it, but then I started getting into like the memes and how funny the Olympics are. And it reminded me of when you and I like late at night were like watching the Oscars with your parents and we watched live Will Smith walk up and like hit Chris Rock across the face. And like to be a part of that moment in history where you're like, this will be talked about and memed about forever. Like I have too much FOMO about that. So now I have
Now
to
you're
watch
in the
the
culture.
Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both out of town. So I was like keeping up mostly on social media. And now that I'm back in town, I'm watching them every night. But like I'm watching them at night, prime time, which is so much later than it's happened on the West Coast. You know, they really air them, like 8 to 11 p.m. That's what I'm usually watching, like the 8 to 11 p.m. hour. I know everything that's happened. Like it's just, I hate a spoiler. And I'm like, you can't avoid it because it's happening so far ahead of West Coast time.
Yes.
I'm seeing it on the internet. I'm seeing influencers post whatever it is. I'm seeing like someone like Tinks, like she's spoiling the Olympics for me. Good for her. She's there live. But I'm just using her as an example. But it is like so funny to like be like, I know who wins already.
I know because I asked you the other day, like, what time are people watching this and has it already happened? Like, that's how out of the culture I was.
So
I didn't even know.
People can watch live.
Yeah,
But it's like the middle of the night for people in California. You know what I mean? Like Paris, prime
9
time,
hours.
daytime, they're competing. It's like the middle of the night for us. Like you'd have to wake up and watch it really quick to try to avoid the spoilers. I don't know.
like people did with the royal wedding.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you're really
so funny.
if you're really in the culture, I guess you do just like
Yeah.
wake up in the middle of the night and watch it.
Right.
I guess
So-
you just stay off the internet. You just like can't see who won.
How could you? I don't know. It's just, but I still love it enough to wake up, do my scroll, see everything that's happened, and then still watch it later that night and see it. Even though I saw that flow routine top to bottom, and I still am going to watch it. Well, let's get into it officially. This is our Paris Olympics 2024 episode. Raina was already in Paris scouting for us.
I want to know
A couple weeks ago.
Boots on the ground.
She was boots on the ground. She was there prepping.
And the Summer Olympics are in LA in 4 years. So I just want to know what to prep for.
Right. Okay.
How fast to leave.
Okay. So you want to hit us with the first headline? Obviously, this is big Rainal energy.
It's all I literally care about. It's the reason that I watch the Olympics. French pole vaulter Anthony Ammarati speaks out after his bulge cost him the Olympic medal. Quote unquote, it is a big disappointment.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment.
If you guys saw it, this pole vaulter, very good looking guy, really fit, nice tattoos, goes over and his dick hit, what do you call it? The bar on the way back down. And it's not subtle. It's not even a little subtle. The amount of times I have watched this from every single angle. So
this is your porn.
in slow-mo. I'm taking screenshots of this. So he's in essentially like a wrestling singlet. It's really tight. And as he tumbles over the pole, his entire dick hits the pole. And it is not small.
Yeah. I mean, this disqualifies you. You're done. Because you're a giant dick. This big dick pole vaulter. I can't get over it. The article, the page 6 article is so funny. It says, although Ammarati explained what went wrong in an interview, he did not mention the elephant in the room. Like,
He doesn't mention it.
it's an elephant.
He does, and
is
then
what it is.
The commentators also don't mention it. They just kind of like stutter their way through it. And he's quoted as saying, the conditions were good. It's the first time I've started a competition without any stress. As a total outsider, I had one goal, to interact with the audience.
you accomplished your goal.
You did, sir. I feel like such a skis. Like I literally, I'm watching these videos in slow motion.
That
Like
is so funny.
not
just-
you.
Well,
You don't want to watch like I have to
I've
get like a
seen it.
screen grab of his dick like literally hitting.
oh yeah,
that.
I've seen it in slow mo. I mean, the tweets and the memes and the comments are so funny. Like, oh, he brought that baguette to the games. Someone said he's going to stroll out of the Olympics with more ladies' phone numbers than medals. I mean, I can't speak as a man, as a woman, but like if I was a guy, let's just say, I'm going to pretend and ask myself, do I want to go down in history as an Olympic medalist, or do I want to go in history as the athlete with the big dick?
Number
like
2.
The latter.
Yes, he
that's
lost,
more
but
memorable.
he won.
He won.
Yes, and also I'm not going to remember who won the pole vaulting competition in France in 2024.
You don't. No, of course,
no one
but
cares.
we'll remember this forever. Can I tell you one thing? I wish Snoop and Martha were commentating this.
What I would have done
If Martha Stewart, she'd been so horny for this. She would have had those baguette
Martha.
jokes locked and loaded. If Snoop saw that, like, put Snoop on this.
and a chef, I would have loved it. I'm mad that they weren't at every single event commentating.
I know. I mean, you really got to put him. We'll talk about it, but I'm already at my Instagram limit for the day.
Are you?
It's 12:13 p.m. and I'm at my limit. That's what the Olympics will do to you. Okay, so next up, tennis exes.
Okay.
We can breeze through this, but we just found this interesting as podcasters who talk about dating. This is the alleged exes who they won gold in mixed doubles tennis, Katerina Siniakova and Tama Machak. You guys, so
I'm
bad.
so sorry about this.
And the headline on Glamour is Olympic fans want a Hallmark movie about the alleged exes who just won gold in mixed doubles tennis. We don't need a Hallmark movie. It's got to be on Netflix. I feel like
Yeah.
Challenger set the bar for tennis porn. We need that.
I would love to see a movie that was
R-rated.
I'd love to see a movie that was actually good about couples in tennis.
So not much to say here. We just thought it was nice. I mean, allegedly they broke up and then everyone's like, they got to be back together after this. They kissed on the mouth after they won.
But they're being very coy about it.
Now they're being very coy. Yeah. I mean, that's got to bring you back together. I don't know what else would. A gold medal.
I mean, the rush of
Some people have a baby
something
to
like
stay
that,
together. Some people
win the
the
gold.
Olympics. Yeah.
I would be so horny if I won
Yes.
the Olympics.
Yeah,
I would
what,
be like,
that breakup sex? Oh, gold medal breakup sex?
can you imagine?
Sign me up.
Just be coming all over the. You think that they're in the Olympic Village, coming on those cardboard beds? We're gonna tell you guys about the conditions in the Olympic Village. It is. I can't even imagine how horny I would be. I would need to fuck in the room, like in my dressing room, as soon as I got off the court.
Yeah.
Just the rush.
Totally. Yeah.
All right, well-
Olympics are super horny this year.
If that can't keep you together,
I don't know what can.
yeah.
Okay.
You want to talk about the conditions in the Olympic Village?
Yeah, like while we're here, we'll skip around.
So people are talking about the conditions in the Olympic Village this year. I've read some differing facts. They house between 11,000 and 14,000 people all
Yeah.
at once. And it is the athletes, coaches, people they bring with them, their families and friends are not allowed to stay there. But people that are Olympians stay there. And the conditions are, I mean, they leave something to be desired. They're saying there's no curtains, there's no air conditioning, that the food is mostly vegan, which Olympians, any athlete will tell you they need protein, and the beds are highly contestable. So these beds first came about
In Tokyo.
4 years ago in Tokyo, and
Yeah.
they're like recyclable beds essentially, and it's 3 pieces of cardboard pushed together with a quote unquote mattress on the top.
Like, yeah, we got to get Helix in here to sponsor the Olympics. Get these people some real mattresses. I could go off about this forever. Like, Rain and I support sustainability. Don't get it twisted. I understand it takes $1 billion fucking dollars to build the Olympic Village. I have a lot of thoughts, but like, this is just like giving Fire Festival. Like, I don't understand how you can host a summer Olympics with no air conditioning. I don't understand it. Like, how did that get through? I wouldn't go. I couldn't go. I couldn't survive it.
I think Europe is just like, we don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, but like,
what
I
are you
don't-
guys gonna do about it?
It's just the number one thing athletes need is sleep and fuel. Like, I really don't understand this. Like, I find it appalling that they are in any sort of situation that they can't get a good night's sleep. That's got to be like the number one thing. I understand the food's not going to be like gourmet in any sort of dining hall situation, but it should be at least healthy enough and the fuel that they need. And they can also go get food easier than they can go sleep somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, also they can come and go as they please. The men's basketball team has never stayed in the Olympic Village. LeBron,
Well, there's a whole thing about how they
Steph Curry.
spend like millions of dollars to house
to stay
the
somewhere else, but they
Olympic
always
team.
have, which is understandable. They're huge celebrities. Like, that's a security issue too. Like, whatever. So if people don't know, you don't have to stay there. You can stay somewhere else. But like, I just don't understand. Like, I've been thinking about recent years. I remember getting really into Sochi in 2014. That was like a big time when like nothing was ready. It was like 2/3 done when the athletes started arriving and like nothing was finished. And there was like so many tweets about it. And that was like early in the meme days. But like Rio had a lot of problems and like Tokyo was a little different because it was like COVID times, whatever, and stuff like that. But like, I don't have the answers, but I just feel like you can't put them in these situations where they can't get a good night's sleep. Like,
okay, so thank you for saying you don't have the answers, because I go back and forth about
I do.
this.
I want to read something, but
I go back and forth about this because I'm like, of course, sustainability is really important. You can't build a temporary village for 14,000 people and then just burn it to the ground. Like, there has to be some sustainability. So I don't have the answer, but that's not really my problem. I didn't compete to host the Olympics in my country this year. Paris did. So the country that competes to host it needs to have the answers. That's your one job.
So I just was like, I have a feeling that America is fucked up in so many ways, but I think we do this better, right? I think we know.
Waste products.
Be wasteful. No. So I was like, I want to know what Atlanta did. So obviously I lived in Atlanta for a decade, and I know they hosted the 1996 Summer Olympics, and it's still such a big deal in Atlanta. Like, there's Centennial Olympic Park. Like, it's still such a big deal
that they
hosted the Olympics in Atlanta. Like, I think at the time, 96, I mean, it wasn't this top tier city in America. I mean, it's still always been a big metropolis, but I think it was such a big deal for them to host the Olympics. So I was like, well, wonder what Atlanta did. I don't know. I lived there. I never saw like some abandoned Olympic village, so I was like, what do they do? So it says the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Village was a dormitory complex that housed 15,000 athletes and officials on the Georgia Institute of Technology campus. The village was part of a public-private partnership that financed the games. It was made possible through a partnership with the University System of Georgia. Now, and it's still active, now called North Avenue Apartments. The complex of dormitories open on the site. Yada, yada. Is like still functioning. Like, why not dorms?
Yeah, I don't, but school's not in session. I never really thought about that. Like, you don't have to like clear out hotels, but like, why not dorms?
I know. Like, and someone's probably gonna be in the comments like, this is why, Ashley, but I did a lot of research on this. I didn't want to really misspeak on it. I was referencing like past years. Like, I don't want to sound uneducated and like, what a hot mess. And everyone's like, there's no alternative. It's like, there has to be.
And this is a very first world country with money and access to resources, who again bid on having the Olympics there. Countries fight to have the Olympics at their in their cities. So that is the responsibility of that place to house these people in a safe and comfortable way.
I really can't wrap my hand around it. And like, all the people who were there to cover the Olympics, the reporters, the influencers are living better than the athletes they're there to cover. I mean, that's not shade to them. I would take that deal all day. I'd let some brand send me. But I was thinking like, there's got to be a million brands who would want to sponsor Simone Biles and whoever, but like, then that's not fair. Like, it's kind of this, we're all in this together. I mean, again, we take the men's basketball team out of it. Like, let's be real. Like, they're just on like a different level, but I'm like, Simone Biles is on that cardboard bed?
So I was really shocked when I saw that she was staying at the Olympic Village, but then it's like, well, why wouldn't she? She is part of the team.
With her team.
Her other athletes are there with her.
Yeah.
And they're saying there's not a lot of privacy, which again, I mean, that is just sort of the trade-off. You're at the Olympics. So I think that people don't expect to have a ton of privacy. You can share a room with a bunch of girlies, but you should be able to sleep and be fed well.
To me, like, yes, no one's expecting like luxury accommodations, but a good night's sleep, it's like top tier. I don't understand how they are living like that. Like, it's like some kid's summer camp. These are the best athletes in the world, like needing to be at their peak performance. Like, it's really beyond my comprehension.
The beds are some of the most shocking things I've ever seen. And people are saying it's to prevent them from having sex with each other. So there's tons of rules in the Olympic handbook. One is that athletes are allowed to have sex with each other. So
the fact that Raina was like, I gotta look this up.
I looked up every
Can they fuck?
I looked up every rule and it was like, are people's friends allowed in the Olympic Village? I'm like, are they allowed to fuck? So in 2020, the Tokyo Olympics infamously made headlines when a sex ban was placed on the Olympic Village.
Ban. Yeah, but it was COVID times.
Due to COVID-19.
Yes.
That was trying to enforce social distancing. But this year, the ban has been lifted and the U.S. team is doing what they can to promote a healthy environment for their athletes. So they confirmed that around 600,000 condoms have been distributed to the Paris Olympic Village. 600,000 condoms.
They're handing out condoms like it's Planned Parenthood.
And the packaging is quite spectacular. They have some really quirky packaging. They are distributed and we hold them in our athlete resource center. So you got to go ask for a condom, which
I'm bringing my own. I don't need to. That's embarrassing.
So the packaging includes Paris Games mascot. So the Olympic
Snoop
fridge.
Dogg? That's the mascot. We all know the mascot is Snoop Dogg.
But there's quirky packaging. On the field of love, play fair and ask for consent is one of the little slogans, and no need to be a gold medalist to wear it.
It's so crazy to me to think about fucking at the Olympics. I'm there to win. I'm there to compete. Like, I'm like, I can get it in whenever else. Like, it's funny to me. Like, good for them. But like, I just feel like, I'm like, I got to get a good night's sleep. I'm not trying to be fucking getting dick down. I got have my good meal. Like, it's props to anybody who can be out having sex, sleeping on this cardboard bed with this polyester bedding. Don't get me started on the blanket.
They look so bad.
And then still compete. Like, couldn't be me.
Okay, but hear me out. If
I
you're
can barely
like,
record if I haven't had a good night's
if
sleep.
you're like, I'm an Olympic athlete. No one's on my level. Like, who on earth could ever be on it? Nobody understands me.
Right.
Nobody understands how hard I work. Like, who's good enough for me? How about a whole village of 14,000 people?
Totally.
And you can fuck them.
Yeah. I'd like to see the stats on people who are fucking and people who are winning. You know, like, is there a correlation? Like, if you're just like, you know what, I'm there to fuck. I'm not there to win.
Okay.
I'm there to get dick down and I don't care. I'll take a bronze.
Yeah. Or what if you just have bronze? I'll take 2 orgasms and a bronze.
Also, Simone Biles, like, where's her husband? Like, you know, like,
I guess he didn't come.
he's what? The way you just outed yourself, he's there every time he's tracking her score. He's wearing a
Sorry, I was checking something to say to you, and I like.
Maybe he
also
didn't. Did you just short circuit? Yeah, he's there. He's wearing like a t-shirt with her face all over it.
Olympic Village.
Oh, to the Olympic Village. No, but like, is he at the Four Seasons and his wife is on a cardboard bed?
Yeah,
like,
your
can't
family
she,
can't stay there.
I'd be like, I'm gonna go sleep with my man. You know, is she get to go fuck him at the Four Seasons?
I don't think so. I think she's like a team player. She's gonna stay with the team.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll fuck him when I get home. He's not proud of me. Okay, or what if you are pummel horse guy and you're like, I'm only here for one thing. So if you guys know who this is, Steven Nedorosik,
I love him.
aka Pommel horse?
Pommel horse, yeah.
Okay, so he is in Paris strictly just to do the pommel horse only.
Oh, that's all he does.
That's all he does. So this is the guy, if you've seen the memes are just him sleeping, essentially. It's him with his eyes closed. And he's a Rubiks Cube solving athlete also. Yeah. He wears these glasses due to a condition that leaves him sensitive to light, causes some vision issues. But all the memes are of him sleeping. But he's only there to do the pommel horse. That's it. Nothing else.
Wait, I didn't realize that.
Yes, that's the only thing he's there for. And he led the team to their first medal in 16 years. So, like, he is valuable. But he's like, I'm just going to do the pommel horse. And then I'm going to fuck. Like, if I'm that guy, I'm like, I showed up and I did my one thing.
Right. Like, I'm going to ride whatever I can. Well, you know, it's funny because I love the memes. He's like, I'm going to ride that pommel horse and I'm going to ride this bitch over here. But I think it's funny that the memes that were like, he just is shut down until he gets activated. Like, the meme that just said, like, he's not activated yet. Yes. You know, like, he is
like
just
robot,
literally,
yeah.
he turns off.
Yes.
Until that pommel horse is ready for him.
And that's it. He just turns on just for the pommel horse, and that's it. Then he goes back to the Olympic Village and fucks on those cardboard beds.
He's so adorable.
I know.
I love watching him.
All of these people are so like earnest and sweet, except for the Turkish shooting guy. I'm so scared of that guy.
It is so scary.
Are
you turned on a little though?
Fuck yeah.
You love a Turkish
Me?
man.
Oh my God, I love a Turkish man. I love somebody who's just like so masculine like this. He just like, I don't understand. He showed up without protective eyewear. Like, it makes no sense.
That's how they do it.
I'm really turned on by like how much he just seemed to not care and just did it. So that's what got me into the Olympics.
Is you researched him? Obviously, that's your man. Is the main thing just the way he looks? It's his stance and his whole vibe. Is that why he's gone viral?
Yes, it's just. I mean,
I understand it, but is that really it? Just like he's so meme worthy.
Yes, when you typically see somebody holding a gun in a shooting competition, it's 2 hands. Where you see cops shoot guns, it's 2 hands. He's just one-handed with the gun.
He's just like Rick in The Walking Dead, just like taking people out, taking zombies out left and right. Like he just really, it doesn't look real. Like it looks like what you see in the movies. Like it looks like what you see in The Walking Dead. Is just that one-handed.
That's what it looks like. And also his outfit, I don't know why, like he's just wearing a tee.
He's in cargo shorts.
And he doesn't have like protective earwear or eyewear really. He's just wearing glasses. Like people wear like whole masks and like mufflers on their ears. This guy just like, he's like what it is.
Yeah, that's the number one raw dog of the Olympics is that guy. Okay, we're just going to take a really quick break and then we'll get right back into it. So I'm going to tell you guys about Fume. Okay, if you haven't heard about this, we are really such big fans of it. It is a flavored air device. It's really beautiful. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels in your hand. And so I don't know if you guys know that the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a whole new movement towards better habits led by the sponsor of today's episode, Fume. Okay, so flavored air isn't like vaping. If a vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. I like that comparison. So Fume has lots of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint, which is my personal favorite, and orange vanilla. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. And so you don't even have to charge this, right? You can just use it anywhere. No nicotine. It's not addictive. Non-toxic flavors. So it is guilt-free. No batteries. Like I said, you'll never need to charge it. It looks awesome. It really has some weight to it. It's not like heavy, but I just really like the weighted high quality design, and it is made to fidget with. So it can calm your anxiety with magnets, snaps, and clicks. If you have like an oral fixation or you have, what does it mean?
Just a little bit of anxiety with your,
you do something with your hands, nervous habits, biting your nails, things like that, playing with your hair. This could be an alternative to that as well. They continuously invest in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products. They're backed by doctors in the US. So again, I really love the crisp mint. We like the orange vanilla as well. And you guys can check it out for if any of these reasons appeal to you. Like, we're really big fans of the product. So Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use our code GGE to get a free gift with your journey pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code GGE to get a free gift with your order today.
And Seed, I'm going to get through this whole read and not mispronounce anything. It doesn't take much to change the balance of your day-to-day life. The same goes for the sensitive vaginal microbiome. 9 out of 10 women have an unstable vaginal microbiome. That's why Seed created VS01 Vaginal Symbiotic to restore a healthy vaginal microbiome and sustain regular pH levels. So I pay attention to what goes to my body, but listen, not always. And a lot of stuff can throw off your vaginal microbiome, which is your natural defense system and the key driver of gynecological, urogenital, and reproductive health.
Oh my gosh.
So day-to-day things like menstruation, exercise, diet, stress, sex can easily disrupt this microbiome, leaving it susceptible to imbalances and just different unwanted issues. So VS01 marks a new era in vaginal care with a sustainable approach to address the root causes of these imbalances. And there's a lot of other products often that target symptoms in ways that further distribute the microbiome. So this is 10 times more effective than a leading oral probiotic at increasing the abundance of L. crispatus in the vagina and maintaining regulated vaginal pH. So VS01 is an ongoing system. It maximizes efficiency with minimal impact to your day-to-day life. So for this first month, it's a little intensive. It helps rapidly replenish an optimal vaginal microbiome. And then they have a sustain phase. So it's simple, ongoing 2-tablet monthly schedule, and it's designed to help maintain a stable vaginal microbiome and regulate your pH levels. So literally just 2 tablets a month.
Yeah.
Easy
so
peasy.
I was like watching an influencer that we like to follow do hers this morning, just like part of her daily routine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Packaging is also beautiful. I keep it right in my pantry.
Yeah.
So find your balance and get proactive with your vaginal care with VS01 from Seed. Go to seed.com/GGE and use the code 25GGE to get 25% off. That's 25% off VS01 at seed.com/GGE, code 25GGE.
Okay. So can we move on to Simone Biles? Okay. Everybody knows, most decorated athlete. I mean, she is truly the best gymnast of all time. She's like the gold standard. There's moves and skills named after her, which is just so crazy. I mean, she does stuff that no one's ever been able to do, and she's just like the GOAT, and that goes without saying. This is not a hot take. But I've loved watching her. I've loved watching the camaraderie of her with like the other athletes, even ones from other countries. And I just love how she has no fucks left to give. Like, have you been keeping track of all her clapbacks?
No.
Like, she is like the clapback queen of the Olympics. I'm going to run through some of my favorites. Okay. So the black job thing, it says that she appeared to take a swipe at former President Donald Trump on Friday morning, tweeting, "I love my black job," after winning her second individual all-around gold medal at the Paris Olympics, which I love that, because he was talking about black jobs. It's just like offensive, whatever, that goes without saying. So I love that one. She does have a lot of haters about her and her husband, which I want to own that I've talked about them before and that I didn't love the way he spoke about her in an interview. But I also said that, like, you're not supporting her by talking shit on her relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I think people sometimes are all in her comments, and everywhere on the internet thinking they're like showing up for her by talking shit about her and her relationship. And like, that's just not it. You know what I mean? Like talk about this in private, like an adult. So, but I have like said before that, you know, the very first interview I saw where he was talking about like he didn't know who she was and she chased him and all that stuff. I didn't love that, but I respect their relationship. They're obviously very happy. He's there to support her. He's like wearing a shirt with her face on it. Like he's keeping track of her score. Like it's very cute. Like I do like watching them, whatever, and the way that they speak about each other. But did you see the picture where he was like wearing her medal?
Yes.
Yeah. So Simone Biles defended her husband, Jonathan Owens, after fans blasted him for wearing the first Olympic gold medal she won at the Paris Games this week. And I thought to myself when I saw that, I'm like, no one would care if that was like her mom or she had a sibling or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just because it's him, like people want to hate. And she said, crazy thing is I put my medal on every single one of my family members and took pictures. So don't ever make assumptions. She commented this under a TikTok video. And then she goes, like, y'all are so fucking miserable. Leave us alone.
Good for her. And I saw that and I thought, like, it took me a minute to even understand why people cared about this. I think it's adorable. She won the Olympics and her husband is just repping her. He's proud of his girl. Like, who wouldn't be?
He's wearing a shirt with her face all over it.
He's not pretending he won the Olympics.
Yeah, he's not like, look what she's in
look
the
what
photo.
I did.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Like, I earned this too. Like, that's not the case. Again, like if it was any other family member, no one would say
someone's
anything.
dad. Well, and also just because of what he said about her, I think people are just like
now
extra
they're
attacking it.
They're triggered already. Like they're ready to pounce. But she clapped back at people commenting on her hair. I don't even want to talk about this. I can't believe people bring up her hair. Like that is truly maybe the most pathetic thing I can imagine is even thinking about her hair.
It's so boring. She's not pressed about this. Stop it.
Like, it's just beyond my comprehension. But anyway, so she's clapped back about that. She's like, it's hot out here. You know what I mean? But she doesn't even need to say that. I wish, she doesn't even need to give her energy to that. And then this thing with Michaela Skinner.
So I don't know about this. If you can tell me who she is and like what this drama is.
All right. So I'll kind of give you the rundown. So Michaela Skinner, who is an American former gymnast, I think she won silver in Tokyo. And so she's like competed on the team with Simone Biles. I guess back in June, she made some comment about a lack of work ethic for the current American team, kind of took some jabs at them. So Simone Biles, after the team won the gold, she posted on Instagram and her caption was lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions. So like really took a shot at her. And then she said that Michaela Skinner blocked her. So that's kind of the basics of what went down. And so then everyone is like descended on Michaela Skinner to like bully her to the point where recently she went online and basically was just like, people are threatening me and my family and like this has gone too far and like kind of begging Simone Biles to tell her fans to stop
back
bullying.
off. Yeah.
Which I'm just like, why do people need to take it this far? You know what I mean? Like, why can we just like let these things go by, like without threatening people and their families? Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, Michaela Skinner can say whatever she wants, and then Simone Biles is welcome to like clap back, and you don't need to threaten people and their families.
I just think that people have this deep-seated need to feel involved somehow.
Yeah.
And, it's when I see people comment stuff on our stuff and go back and forth, and I'm just like, this didn't need to go to this level. You don't need to take this level.
Yeah.
And going after I think that some people take fandom to a really bad level where they're like, I need to support somebody at all costs. If that means threatening the
Someone
other person.
else, yeah.
Like, and I think that they feel connected to that person via threatening their adversaries.
Yeah, like, again, I liked the clapback that Simone Biles posted to Instagram, but like, can't we all just appreciate a little lighthearted beef? Yes. You know what I mean? And then like Michaela Skinner, and this isn't like in defense of her, but she's over here like, I'm proud of these girls. I don't know exactly what she said. I probably should have researched this beforehand. But again, I don't think it was just this like targeted attack. She probably said something like in passing. And again, it was still offensive. She shouldn't have said it. Why are you saying anything poorly about your team, your former team?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you should know better.
And partially maybe Simone Biles should have assumed that like she's rallying people up to go after somebody else also. But
yeah,
I don't know. I go back and forth because like, yeah, we should be allowed to like make jabs at each other a little bit on the internet. But like when you have a giant fan base, unfortunately, you have to learn very quickly that you can rile people up really fast. And, we've seen this with a lot of people on the internet where like people have had to be like, can you please call off your dogs on me?
Right.
And I think that people love to drum up drama between two women. I mean, you've seen it with like Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez, who have not participated in public beef with each other ever.
Right. That's like the prime example. Who had to ask? Was it?
I think Haley had to ask people to stop harassing Selena. Well, Tessa, you let us know.
Which one was that?
I don't remember. It's been going on for so long.
I think Haley called for Selena to have her
Her fans to stop. Yeah. So I just think this is like part of a larger discussion. Like, this isn't what these people want. I mean, if they really go online and they're like, go get them, which I think is super irresponsible because we all know that people take it too far, but you just don't see that.
But then listen, Thank You, Amy is like one of my favorite songs that Taylor Swift came out with this year. But I also feel like she got bullied so badly for so many years by like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's fans that she finally clapped back.
Yeah.
And like finally made this like very public statement.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because like I ride for that song.
Yeah, I just think people take it too far.
Yeah.
People are just these like social justice warriors, and it's just like, man, I wish we could just kind of like appreciate it and for what it's
chill.
worth, for the art of it all. You know what I mean?
Be cool. Don't be all uncool.
Yeah. Simone Biles is, I feel like, currently like Taylor Swift at the Olympics, where it's just like my whole feed,
Yes.
and I'm not mad at it.
No, I love it.
You know what I was telling Sparkle Eyes about the other day was this is a deep cut. Carrie Strug. Oh my God. I feel like this is really going to age me. So this was 96. So this was in Atlanta, which I already brought up Atlanta. So I was like 13. And I remember watching this with my family, like watching it live. And it was like the women's team was on track to win the gold if she did this final vault, and she was injured. And she like did the vault and like landed it perfectly, and then just she had to crawl off the mat. And like her coach, who was like a controversial coach, you remember the name, like Bella Caroli? He was like the number one like women's Olympic coach or whatever. Like he came and like carried her off. This was like a crazy moment. This was like one of the most like iconic, and they won the gold. So she was like, the commentators were like, she's the only one that can do it. You know, like, this is the only way that they can win gold. And meanwhile, she's like very injured. Her ankle was like very injured. And so you watch her just like push through it. I'm going to cry right now thinking about it. And just do this vault perfectly and land it. I remember like watching it with my family, and everybody was like, oh my. And then they won, and it was just like, oh my God.
I didn't know you were so into Olympic culture.
This
You
was
are
just,
an Olympic culturalist.
This was just like a real moment. Oh, she was a member of the Magnificent Seven, the victorious all-around women's gymnastics teams that represented the United States at the 1996 Summer Olympics. So, you know, maybe that's in the running for my favorite Olympics. Half our listeners were never even born.
We're never even born. Tessa's like, what year was that? There's just so much beautiful feel-good content surrounding Olympics. Can I tell you my favorite?
Yeah.
Well, there's two of my favorites, but one's a larger discussion. Henrik Christensen, he's the Muffin Man. Do you know about this?
No.
Okay, so if you guys just want to like brighten your day, look him up on TikTok, aka Muffin Man. So he's an athlete, and he is just posting TikTok after TikTok about the muffins in the Olympic Village. He loves them. He's so happy. There's 15 TikToks of him just talking about how much he loves the muffins in the Olympic Village. And also the...
Therapy dog?
No.
You haven't seen the dog? No. Have you seen the dog? You guys! This is beautiful golden retriever.
Okay.
He's like photographed with like all the teams. He's like a therapy
He's just
dog.
there to do therapy.
Yeah. It's so sweet.
Delightful.
So sweet. Okay, anyway.
This is really the perfect episode to watch on YouTube because there's just so much content.
Yeah, dog content.
And
And
so-
speaking of dog content.
So I love, yes, my favorite feel good what is Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg at the Olympics. I can't get enough of them. I
Yeah.
can't get enough of their dynamic. And I recently discovered when I was sitting in the car the other day, dressage horses. And I didn't know what this was, like the horses that dance. Okay, so I had never seen this before. I actually thought when I saw the video of the horse dancing, I just thought like that one guy trained his horse. to
No.
just-
Oh, you didn't know it was like a whole event?
yeah, because it said in the caption on Instagram, like this guy won their hearts by the way he came out. And I was like, oh, they're all doing this.
Oh, like you thought that was like his entry walk up.
Yeah, I
You
thought that was
like
his walk-up music, yeah.
Okay, so there was this clip, I believe it was at the last Olympics or whatever. This was Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart commentating on this horse doing dressage. And Snoop was like, he's got that crip walk. And like people lost their minds. Like Kevin Hart can't keep it together. Like it is one of my favorite clips of all time. It was like Jimmy Fallon was talking about it recently on like The Tonight Show, whatever. So that was like a super viral thing. So I don't know if that made people want to bring Snoop back to do the equestrian content. Also Martha Stewart and like being with her, but he's like scared of horses. So he has like a fear of horses. So he's like conquering his fear of horses, and he's commentating on the dressage and like the equestrian events, like obviously in the full getup. We've all seen the photos and it is so funny to me. And so I'm watching it and I'm just like his commentary, and Martha's trying to explain to him. She's like mansplaining horses to him. It's so funny. And then they have him out there in the fields feeding them like carrots, and everything he says is like comedy gold. And then they're like, Snoop, we have one special horse we wanted you to see. And they're sitting on the couch, they're talking to one of the anchors or whatever. And the horse comes out, and the horse is named Gin and Juice. And then they play Gin and Juice to the horse doing his little dances. And Snoop starts like freestyling on it. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
This is why we watch the Olympics.
Yes.
I could never watch a sport ever and just watch that.
I love the meme that was like, I love that we've all accepted Snoop Dogg as our national mascot.
Yeah.
And then I think my other favorite thing is just the trend of like, sadly, I did not get chosen for the Olympic team. And there's like one song one TikTok sound, one real sound that's mainly been used, like one song. And it's just, you guys have seen this. And there's certain meme accounts that are doing carousels of like all the best ones. A lot of people on like a balance beam or on the uneven bars or diving
boards, yes.
Like one. And then the comments are so like the gift that keeps on giving. Like there's this one, and I posted on my story, and she's on the diving board and she just kind of falls back. And someone she said, let go and let God. And I just am laughing at all of them. And there's this one, and it's this girl, and she's on the uneven bars. And from the jump, she is not good. And you hear whoever is filming it, maybe her mom going, you got it, Raven?
You got it, Raven. Get it up.
Okay, Raven. Raven, you got this. And the comments are like, Raven never had it, like, and so I was watching this all in bed with my boyfriend on the vacation we just took. And the rest of the vacation, we kept going, you got it, Raven? You got it, Raven? This lady fainted in the airport. That's not funny. No. This lady fainted in the airport, which was not like, okay. And she's fine. I'm not laughing at that. She fell backwards in the security line. People tried to pick her up, and then
Your boyfriend did not whisper, you got this, Raven.
And then she fell again. And then people started yelling, like, so can someone help this lady? Like, we're in Canada, so, like, people, like, get her help.
People actually helped,
and
yeah.
My boyfriend whispers, you got it, Raven.
The way I would have been so pissed at someone making me laugh that hard in that moment. You like a bad person.
And again, she was fine. We're waiting to go through customs in Canada. You do it there, whatever, so you don't have to do it when you land. And they didn't have like a wheelchair for her, which I'm like, American airports, there's wheelchairs. Everybody needs a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of wheelchairs. I guess they didn't have one on hand. They put her on like a rolling, like, office chair. Like they like
a desk chair.
Like they just
like one of the desk chairs the TSA agents sit in. If I ever have like a heart attack at the airport, I want to be carted out like that. I want to make people laugh all the way to the grave.
She was just on this like desk chair with wheels, just being like wheeled on it. And meanwhile, my boyfriend's like, you got it, Raven. Okay.
And then the last piece of content about the Olympics that she's really getting me is things that should be an Olympic sport. And I was thinking about this at the airport randomly the other day, and then I saw this TikTok, this girl I love, her name is Mads Mitch. She just does these lists that like really crack me up, and she did Olympic sports to me, and she does stuff like closing a beach chair, which... How humiliating.
Raina.
How humiliating.
That is so top tier.
Do you know that I think about this every day? When I go to the beach like 3 days a week to like read a book. And I think like if anybody that listens to this show watched me close up my beach chair. Like I have a beach chair in my car at all times. I go to the beach. I live at the beach. So I should know how to close a beach chair.
No, the way you have to get it in the ridges, I will hype myself. If I'm on the beach, I'm like, you got this, Raven. Like I'm literally like, I can't, it's so difficult. And every time I'm like, surely I'll be able to get it this time in the first try. Never in the first try.
Under any and I'm like, I flip the whole chair over. If anybody that listens to the show ever watched me do that, they would never take my advice ever again. Being productive between 2 and 4 p.m.
I've been meaning to talk about this.
Because I don't talk to you between 2 and 4 p.m.
No, I've just been meaning to talk about this like 4 p.m. slump. Like my body shuts down. I saw someone that said it's some sort of like something rhythm. Do you know that? Like not circadian, but it was like something to do with women's cycle of something.
Well, yesterday you texted me. I started to get like
sounds so knowledgeable.
Well, you're the doctor of the show. I started to get so tired yesterday around 2:30, and you were like, "Here's my thoughts on the episode for tomorrow." And you sent me this big list, and I was like, "I can't even read this."
I feel like
tired.
I'm gonna pass out sometimes. If I'm out doing stuff, I can push through it. But if I'm just at home having a normal work day, 3:30 to 4, it sets in and I cannot function. Did you find this thing?
It's the cortisol levels, and women naturally dip around 4 p.m.
Okay, our cortisol levels dip. But I saw someone in a comment once that said something about some rhythm. But anyway, of course it has to do with something with like women's bodies.
It is a part of the circadian rhythm, but
It is
yeah. So
okay.
it's that causes people to feel less energetic between 1 and 4 p.m.
Ugh, it's debilitating.
I can't do it. And then
then I'm like, am I dying? Like, will I survive this every day? And then like I let it pass, then I hop on the Peloton. I'm like, she's back.
yeah, well, you do have like a resurgence. I have a little
You're done at 2:30.
I have a little teeny
We got work,
kind of. I mean, I tell you at 4 that I'm done.
Yeah.
But like I'm edging towards done at 3, and you have you'll work all night. There's no chance I'll do that. Okay, her last thing, and then I want to get her into our listeners' responses is being able to talk about the same topic with my best friend every single time I see them without any new developments.
That is so we can beat it to death.
I could beat it to death. So she's a great follow. I absolutely love her. I think she's amazing. So my Olympic sport, I had to take a connecting flight to Pittsburgh from LAX.
Okay.
I landed in Atlanta and we couldn't get into the gate. They said the plane was too big for the gate, which I don't know, pick a different gate. You're the biggest airport in America. Just figure it out.
Plane is too big for the gate. It's giving like big dick pole vaulter.
It was a huge
too big to manage.
So I missed my connecting flight and I had to stay in Atlanta for quite some time. So I went to the Delta Lounge.
Home of the 1996 Summer Olympics.
I thought about it. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure there's Olympic shit in the airport. Anyway.
I didn't see it. Well, anyways, I went to the lounge and it just kept. My next flight wasn't for like 3.5 hours. When I drank so much, Ashley, I was like, "Am I going to be able to make it from the lounge to the plane?" That was my Olympic sport.
You need a
I was
rolling
like,
chair.
I had like,
They got to put you in a desk chair.
I didn't have my team with me. I would have made you a test to do it. I had like 5 wines at the lounge.
Raina.
I was so drunk. I was like, "Am I even going to get on this plane?" And then I got on the plane and watched the opening ceremonies. It was the same day. As the opening ceremony.
Okay, you watched them drunk on a plane.
Drunk on a plane.
So dead.
I sat down. This woman was like, "Where are you headed?" I was like, "My new Olympic sport is getting out of this conversation." And then
So what is your sport? Getting drunk?
getting drunk and getting to the plane?
Getting drunk and getting on the plane. That's Raina's
Like,
biggest
am I-
talent. is getting drunk in the airport lounge and making her
I don't
flight.
think you understand how drunk and alone I was. It was late. I was so
my
tired.
God.
Okay, so I want to hear what yours is.
Okay, I've been thinking about this. Masturbating manual with no porn.
It is for you because you're newly in the culture.
I think this is high level for a lot of people. Let us know in the comments. Manual only, acoustic, no vibrator, no porn. Thoughts only. Raw dog.
I've been doing that since I was 12.
Okay, well, I guess you and I are Simone Biles and Jordan Childs.
I am
of
the
masturbating.
I am the Simone
Put us
Biles
on the
of doing
podium.
this. I didn't even know people did it another way. I just that's how I've been doing it.
All right, well, Raina has gold. I guess I'm working on my silver.
But you're new to the Olympic team.
Yeah. Okay, really quick. I don't want to get into our listeners, but I just want to read you the ones from the Skim because I love these too. I marked this too. So things women do that feel like Olympic events. Everything showers.
That was number 1 from all of our listeners. Shaving everything showers.
Birth, gestating, and birthing other humans. Trying to get a word in at a meeting with men over 50. Refilling birth control prescriptions. Right? Remember, we had to call off a week's work once because I needed to refill my prescription when I was in the pill. Do you remember how difficult that used to be?
I mean,
remember I was
every
going
month-
back and forth with the pill club. Like, is this real life?
Every month I would say to you, you've done this hundreds of times. Do we don't have a handle on this?
Exactly. America doesn't have a handle on this. This is not a me issue. I know what I'm doing. It was.
I was really she's pretty high functioning. I don't know why she can't figure this out.
Carrying Amazon packages upstairs. I'll also add onto that a bunch of grocery bags.
Number 2 on our list from our listeners: getting every single grocery bag out of the car
in one trip. Okay. Putting bodysuits on.
Oh, okay.
I like that. Scheduling a time for brunch that works for everyone. I love that. Anything over 4 girls, scheduling a time that works, Olympic sport, and carrying a first date on our shoulders. I would add into the bodysuit conversation, that's not really too much of an issue for me. Getting on a zip up corset.
Oh, Tessa has to do that for me.
How would you, can people zip from the back?
Well, no, I put it around my stomach,
but then
backwards,
it's really tight.
zip
You got
it.
to, yeah, I have to put it on backwards, but then you really got to
scoot it around the other way. Yes.
Yeah, like it's like,
yes. Or, okay, you know the little tiny elastic buttons that button around your neck in the back?
No, you need someone else for that.
I've been I wore this jumpsuit to the airport like an idiot. I've been butt naked, no underwear, no bra at the airport with that little thing.
Forget it.
Okay, so blowjobs to completion.
Okay.
So I do think that is really difficult for most people, including me.
No, that should be. Should we do like the X-rated Olympics? Maybe that should be our tour. Just kidding. We're not going to have you guys up on stage blowing people. That was a joke. No one laughed at. Okay, keep it moving.
I was just like, can we do that? I thought you were serious.
I was going to pitch that today. I have it in my notes.
Tessa, who's going to match Tessa's freak?
You're going to make me blow Ryan on stage? I'll do it.
I was going to say bananas, but
oh my God. We did a banana eating contest once, actually.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. Home of the 1996 Summer Olympics.
Doing anything with children at an airport. I was waiting for my Uber the other night at LAX, and I saw this man and this woman, 3 kids. One of them is a baby in a stroller, at least 20 pieces of luggage. Watching them try to get all the luggage, all their children, a stroller, and the 2 of them into that car, I was like, I'm not strong enough for this.
No.
I couldn't do it.
Traveling?
10:30 at night? No.
Traveling like international with kids, I mean, good for you. If you got the money and the resources, go off. We didn't do that when I was a kid, but it's crazy to see parents with a bunch of kids in tow. Everybody's passports have to be out.
Oh, I don't know
how
how
are you
anybody
keeping
does that.
track of all these passports?
Actually, I don't know how people fly
can
from
barely
New York
keep track
to
of my own
Pittsburgh.
passport.
It's 45 minutes. I don't know how people go to an airport with a child. You are the strongest person alive. Women at the airport. When I watch men hold their coffee cups at an airport while women have a baby strapped to their chest and are maneuvering luggage, I would get a divorce in the airport.
It's crazy. I mean, again, like I don't need my decision to not have children reinforced, but that will do it. Seeing those families in the airport. But again, like mad respect. It's crazy.
I don't know how you do it.
We didn't fly a lot as kids, like a couple times, or not even. I think one time we went to Disney World, but like we took like car vacations as kids. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money or anything like that, but it's just like you see a bunch of kids in first class. What is happening?
How terrible are those kids going to be?
Actually, though, sometimes I will say I've seen really well-behaved kids, like because they just have their device and they put their headphones on, and those are good parents. Because you know what I hate? A kid with a device with no headphones. I don't care that it hurts their ears.
What?
This is crazy. How do you get to have your device playing in public? This is like being on speakerphone in public. You're rude.
Our generation got hit with a belt.
We had a Game
Boy. It hurts their little ears.
We had a Game Boy. There was no sound.
That's crazy. Sonic, no sound.
We had an Etch-a-Sketch. No sound.
No sound.
All right.
What are their little ears? All right, I'll round out the list. Folding a fitted sheet.
Yeah.
Getting a comforter into a duvet cover.
Just kind of chill down my spine. I
There
posted.
are hacks you can find on like YouTube.
No. But for a king, it hits different.
I do it all the
You
time. I
think
hate
you
it.
can do a queen? King is different level. I posted this on my Instagram because I got a king bed for the first time in a long time when I moved to LA. It had a queen in New York the whole time. I had mastered it on a queen level. It's a whole different level. A king duvet insert into a duvet cover.
I'm 5 feet tall. My wingspan is that of a small child. It is so hard for me.
None of my hacks worked. I can't do this. I can't live like this.
And also fitted sheets, it doesn't matter. That thing is going to get folded and put away no matter if I do a good job or not. The duvet cover has to go on.
I could care less about a fitted sheet. Ball it up. Throw it in the closet. Who cares?
I don't care at all.
Anyway.
Okay, and then finally, finding every detail of someone's life with just a first name. That should be an Olympic sport.
Women are the FBI.
Yes.
Women should be the whole FBI.
Remember that guy that I hooked up with? We didn't even have his real name. We just had like a fake name and like one little detail about what he did for work.
And we found him.
When
you can't find somebody, you're like, I'm a failure as a woman. Like this should be innate. You know what I mean? Like I can't live with myself.
I judge my friends if they can't.
Yeah.
Like if my friends come with me like with half of the tea and I'm like, you could have gotten the rest of this on the internet. Like I'm like, you're not really worthy.
You're
of
not
being
prepared.
My friend.
Yeah. Come prepared
back
next time.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple more things. We are now wrapping up our Olympic coverage, but we wanted to announce Kamala Harris chose her VP, and this is Tim Walz. He is the Minnesota governor. We love this. I am a newer fan.
Yeah.
I texted the night before. I feel so validated because I am a witch, but I texted the night before she announced it. Like, I'm really into the Minnesota governor lately. And, clips have been surfacing, and he's just like a wholesome dad.
Yeah. Football coach.
Former teacher.
Yep.
He's really gonna. It's a genius pick,
I love it.
and I cannot wait for our Minnesota show. Tessa, nice.
Tessa has been killing flies this whole. If you guys have
That's
seen
her
flies
Olympic
going
sport.
around, killing it. And Tessa's wearing a great neon green Kamala shirt.
Kamala Brat shirt. Yes, we have a Minneapolis show. It's going to be extra lit.
Yep.
Team Tim. And I just love this. I think this is the perfect choice. Like, I think he's the right vibe, what he stands for. I was seeing something that he posted about being a responsible gun owner. I really like the pick. We love Minnesota. We love performing in Minneapolis. And he, you know what, he seems like not every Minnesotan, right? Minnesotan like loves him, but he does seem, for the most part, really well liked by people in his state. You know, because I think I was looking up a lot of these governors, and again, you can't tell all by Instagram comments, but I think there's some that were in the running that like people don't love so much. You know, like I liked to see how people feel about their governors and their leaders in their own state or city. You know, and so I found that interesting.
I look forward to seeing this go down. I look forward to seeing him debate JD Vance.
He's really feel good. I mean, he's
he's
really
warm.
like you feel like he's your dad.
Yeah,
You feel like he
he's
can be
my
anybody's dad. You know, he's like I feel like he's the dad that's like, call me when you're drinking, I'll come pick you up. But then the next day you got to clean the horse stalls. You know what I mean?
Well, good luck to them. We're rooting for him. So is Tessa. Her Kamala shirt. All right. Well, you want to do some recs and talk about some things that are coming out, and then we'll close it out. So I'm really excited to say that It Ends With Us is coming out on August 8th. This is a book by Colleen Hoover. It's one of the most it's the most famous book she's ever read. It's the book that really got me into reading. So it is. Last summer I just had my
first book.
I had my third breast
chapter
reduction
book.
Well, you know, I said I didn't really like fiction.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really that into it.
Well, I told you had to read it, right?
And you told me I had to read it. Also, it's the most famous book on like Book Talk and every Amazon. But I was recovering from my third breast reduction surgery that Dr. Barrett did. And I was just like, I have nothing to do. I'm so bored. I guess I'll read a fiction book. And I loved it so much. I crushed it in one day. I immediately went out and bought It Starts With Us. So the book is about a young girl who's sort of torn between these two men, her current partner, and there's themes of abuse throughout the movie with him and somebody that she grew up with, a childhood love, and he re-enters her life. And the movie, it's played by Blake Lively, and I'm just the biggest fan of Gossip Girl and Serena, and I loved her so much, and I'm really excited for it. This really is the book that made me like love reading and love fiction. I cried throughout the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel. Like a book that I love so deeply, which this does fall into that category. I'm always a little wary of the movie. Like, are they going to do it justice? But I am really excited about it. Obviously, we're going to go see it. I think it's so funny because I have not seen much about Blake Lively in a while. She hasn't really done much. She's been like Taylor Swift's bestie and, you know, like at the games and like Ryan Reynolds' wife. And I haven't seen too much from her. I'm not saying that she's not doing stuff, but I guess I haven't seen her in the spotlight too much. And now she is everywhere. And you know, they waited for her to drop that hair care line until the movie came out.
Fuck yeah.
How long has Blake Lively been sitting on this hair care line?
And the most famous hair.
Yes,
Serena
exactly.
Vanderwoodson's hair.
Yes, and so I think it's so funny that genius that they timed this, Blake Brown, her hair care line that she's worked on forever with the movie, and now she's like my whole feed, and Simone Biles is my whole feed, but she's like right under it, so she's everywhere, so I love that. I feel like she's just like been hibernating like Mariah Carey in the summertime, and now she's like out, you know.
Now, bitch.
So I love that.
People criticize the casting of the movie
because
the character in the movie
like
is
22.
young. She's a young girl,
which I'm all about an older character. I relate to it more. So I don't know if they're going to make the character older in the movie.
Which I would enjoy. Actually, one of the things I liked the least about that book was that the character was so young.
Yeah, exactly. Which if you're young, you relate to that more. It's just like, you know, you want to, Ray and I think you should live a little before you get married in the first place and have kids, whatever. That's just like our personal opinions. So it'd be cool if she was like later in her 20s. Maybe that's what they're going for. I mean, the fashion choices have been crazy. Like you've seen them filming, and I feel like she's even dressing a little like the character in her interviews and stuff like that. But I saw the funniest interview. Did you see this? So Brandon Sklenar, who was going to play Atlas, Justin Maldoni plays Ryle, and I love Jenny Slate and Hassan doing that. I mean, I cannot wait to see that.
I love Jenny Slate and Hassan being cast as the sister of the main character and her husband.
Yeah. So Brandon Sklenar, who I didn't know before, and he's like hot. I think he's going to be this like up and coming.
I love the casting of him.
So there's this interview. Did you see his interview
with Ryan Reynolds?
With Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds comes in and is basically, what are you doing with my wife? And then it turns into this like meth storyline. And then Ryan Reynolds' mom comes in and then starts hitting on Brandon Sklenar. And is also like, do you want to be Ryan's new dad? Also, Ryan's on meth. And then he And then Hugh Jackman comes in. It's long, but if you power through it, it's very funny, and we'll like post it.
It's so good. And Ryan Reynolds starts off by saying, like, what do you call Mrs. Reynolds? You guys have your own name to each other. Like, it's so good. He's so funny.
So that comes out. We'll see it. If we have anything to say about it, we'll talk about that next week. And then one thing coming out, and then I'll kick it to you with your Rex, is Emily in Paris starts again on the 14th, which I think is so genius to start it right if the Olympics ends, because everyone's going to have this Paris Olympics withdrawal after watching it for 2 weeks. And then they're going to be like, and then they're just going to go right into Emily in Paris. And so I just think that's very genius. And, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with this show. Like, I watched every season and love-hate. That's all I can say. You know, I find so many things like so cringe, and I don't know how I feel about like the writing and the acting, whatever, but I still love it.
I know, it's really kept you on the hook. And people will have a hangover from the Olympics, so they'll be really excited to digest more of that content.
Yes. Okay, what is going on with you?
I just have 2 book racks. I was in New York, and I discovered this bookstore in Soho called McNally Jackson, and I like to support local bookstores. So I love that. If you're in New York, go there. I bought 2 books this week. I read both of them each in like a day and a half. So Taylor Jenkins Reid is my favorite author. She wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and also The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which are some of the most famous books. But she wrote this book. It's kind of lesser known. It's called After I Do. And it's about this couple that have been together for 10 years. And they've kind of gotten to this inflection point in their relationship where they're not kind to each other. They're just dismissive of each other and irritated all the time. And they decide to take 1 year off. And you kind of see how you can kind of get there with a partner and how you can stop being kind to each other and seeing each other and being honest with each other. And then what does it mean to leave them, you know? And can you be happy without the person who's essentially been your right arm your whole life? And she waffles back and forth between whether to get back together with him or not. And, you know, do I need this person in my life? And what does companionship mean? What does monogamy mean? And there's like a lot of themes of that. And so you're just sort of listening to her journey, contemplating all those things with herself. So really beautifully written, and a lot of just really great, meaningful themes that I think a lot of people would relate to. And then the other one is Dolly Alderton, wrote a book called Ghost. And you and I love her other 2 books, Everything I Know About Love, right? And Good Material. And she's really phenomenal at painting a picture of what it means to be in certain phases in your life. So especially in your 30s when half of your friends are married and you're the only single person and you feel like this distance between your friends, and what do male relationships look like? What do female relationships look like? She encapsulates it in such a beautiful way. So this book is called Ghost, and it's about this girl. She's, I think, 31 or 32. She's single. She meets this guy. She really falls for him. He says, I love you, and then he ghosts her.
Ugh, I can't wait. I'm taking both these books today. I'm glad you're such a fast reader now.
I really am. When I really like something, I lean in super hard. And by the way, I don't know if I enunciated it perfectly, but it is Ghost plural. So not just Ghost
plural.
But both phenomenal books. I really highly recommend them. And I've been complaining that I want to stop reading all these love stories about these like flailing women and these super broken men, and I've done it.
I know, because I just finished that one that was about like the love story. She was 18, Summer of Broken Rules, which I liked it, but it's just like I found myself just procrastinating on finishing it, and I'm like, because it's so far outside of my current life phase, you know, but I still enjoyed it. I still have recommended it in the past, so I know a lot of people love that book, but I'm so excited to dive into both of these.
Unbelievable books.
Okay, well, hope you guys liked our Olympic coverage, our political coverage, and our recs and everything. And of course, just like weigh in on all the stuff we mentioned in the YouTube comments. And we love reading them. So we have a poll this week, a question this week.
Yeah, so I had put it on mine, but we'll put it on Girls Gotta Eat. What do you think should be considered an Olympic sport?
What's your personal Olympic sport?
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, what are your personal talents? Raina's is getting drunk.
As drunk as possible. And making to the flight, yeah.
Okay, and so girlsgottaeat.com. You guys can find everything you need. Get those tour tickets. We still have some tickets left for Tim Walz's home state of Minnesota, our Minneapolis show. So get those and all the other cities we're going to be at in the fall and the winter. Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. And subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. Let us know what you think. And we will see you Monday.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Bye.